being booed,
Mhm.
leaving whatever town Ole Miss is in.
Oxford.
Oxford, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
rightfully
crazy.
so. Rightfully so, though. If
Why
you're a
right?
fan,
Why rightfully so?
I mean, because of the fashion that you leave in. I mean, your team is the best that they've damn near ever been. What 10-win, 11-win season for the first time. You could possibly contend for a national championship, and then you bail out. I mean, that's tough to kind of to handle if you're a fan or even if a player. Like all of the Oxford and Ole Miss should be upset about it, to be honest. But it's two sides to kind of how you what evaluate and assess the situation. So I mean, is it business or is it personal and about college football? Like I don't know. It just depends on what lens you're looking at it through, to be completely honest, because the landscape of college football has changed and it's just a part of college football at this point. You know what I mean? As far as the rules and regulations of college football and how it's set up, the transfer portal was about to open up before at least the semifinals or the national championship. So like if a player was disgruntled and he's on a contending team, he has the right to enter the portal and just bail out on his team at the height of the season. So if the player has the right to do it, the coach has the right to do it. I don't think it's a Lane Kiffin situation. It's just it's the system. Like it's the
That
structure for real.
that's the thing though. He wasn't so he accepted the job, but he was trying to stay coaching for the remainder of the season.
That makes sense, right? Like I
Yeah, and
mean,
it,
and
and Ole
go
Miss
ahead.
was saying no.
Absolutely not, because you're going to LSU, you're going to a rival team in the SEC. You have to play against them. You're recruiting against them. Why would they allow you to stay and coach? But then on the flip side, LSU, like, yeah, bro, go ahead, finish the season because it adds recruiting value. Let's say hypothetically, Ole Miss makes a run and they fuck around and win a national championship or get close. Now he could tell guys like, hey, look at what I did. Hey, if you want to win, if you want to contend, come to LSU. So it's like, why would we give you the opportunity to raise your stock and raise the value? And no, we're not doing that. And we got to play against you next year. We got to recruit against you. So hell no, you
And
ain't
some may say
finishing the
they're a
season.
rival school.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like a rival school. So
I
yeah,
didn't even
like
think of it from that standpoint. Yeah, that does definitely add recruitment value for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. When going on a run like that, so it adds value to you as a coach. So you could use that as a recruiting pitch. Like, hey, look what I did right before I left Ole Miss. We contended for a national championship, went on a run. Like, no, you're not going. And then the thing is how I say it. Like, whether it be business or it be personal, right? When we think of college sports, we have the mindset of it's still amateur athletics in a sense, right? It's not considered professional, but now you have professional situations entering the amateur landscape, which it don't kind of mix. And that's why it's mixed views on it, because guess what? If this is professional, there's nothing wrong with what Lane Kiffin did. Like, he's choosing what's best for him. He says it's not about the money. He wants to be in a situation where he's in the best place where he can recruit and get the best guys. So that's the reason for him leaving. But if we're looking at it through an amateur scope, it's like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, you done had these young athletes commit to you and your process and your system and bust their ass in the summertime through the season, do everything you want them to do to compete for a national championship, and they believed in you, and you just bail out. So it's kind of like that mixture of, do you take it personal or is it just business? Because like I said, if a player could leave whenever he wants, if a coach could be fired whenever he wants, then you open the door for this type of situation. But me personally, I don't think any move should be able to be made during the season. Like, if the season is happening, no coach should be fired. No kid should be able to enter the transfer
I
portal.
think a coach can be fired during the season.
No, I'm saying I don't think so.
Why
I
not?
don't think,
It happens in
because
it happens in the NFL and
yeah,
stuff.
but this is supposed to be amateur.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. That's where the confliction happens, where it's like you have professional concepts and principles in a quote unquote amateur league, which is now, that's why it just depends on what lens you're looking at it through. So if you could fire me when you want, why the hell can't I leave when I want? Just like the players. If you could be cut or whatever the case is, I should be able to leave when I want to leave. Like, both sides should be protected, if you ask me. But so to just provide a solution, nothing happens during the season. No moves can be made during the season. Because if you think about it, like, think about, why is the transfer portal opening right before the national championship? Like, why would that even be the window? Why can't you just wait 2 weeks, 2 more weeks, and open it up at the end of the season? Why do you give people the opportunity to leave in the middle of the season or at the height of the season? Like, that don't make sense. Even with certain situations with bowl games, like you saw the recent trend of, like, starters sitting out for the bowl game because they're entering the transfer portal. Like, even though granted a bowl game is not like a national championship, but I just feel like those are major moves being made in the middle or at the height of the season.
What would be the difference though if they enter the transfer portal versus just even choosing to sit out?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be no difference, but at least it doesn't create a spectacle like this. Whereas like the moving pieces, like everything is moving around. Like, fine, you sitting on the bench, you're not playing, you opting out, cool. But it's like we're not dealing with a situation where you're entering a portal and your other schools are involved and coaches. It just adds to it. Like it's just two different situations to me. You know what I mean? Then like you have a major situation, which this doesn't happen often, but a team is contending for a championship and they coach just is gone now. The head coach is gone. Like, in what league and what world does that make sense? Like, other than professionally, it's just it's kind of unheard of for real. Like, but the more the NCAA, well, the more college football becomes a business, the less kind of empathy I have. Where I'm not looking at it through an amateur scope. I'm looking at it through a professional lens. Where it's like, okay, it's just business. If he felt this was a better opportunity, he has every right to leave. Like, who could knock him for that? If this is what college football has become essentially. So I mean, it's tough. Morally, I don't like it because, like I said, I'm thinking more so about the athletes, and then even him creating an ultimatum for the staff. It's like, okay, if you wanted to stay, ultimately, if you wanted to stay and contend for the national championship and quote unquote finish the job, and they told you no. How could you expect now all of the assistant coaches who've committed to the athletes and to the process and to the system to be like, all right, you know what, I'm with you. We out of here. Like, those coaches have relationships as well. Those assistant coaches have made obligations and created situations for these athletes during recruiting. Everybody doesn't have the relationship with Lane Kiffin. Like, you got position coaches who have relationships with the kids. They can't just bail out on them. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work that way. So from what it seems like, they're retaining a decent amount of the coaches, and I mean, shoot, like it's a crazy situation to be completely honest. But hey, I get it. I get it. I think both sides are right. If you mad, you got a reason. If you're not mad, you got a reason to. So I mean,
No, it's definitely wild though.
yeah, no, it's wild. It's wild. But hey, this is the beast of college football now. Like, this is what it has become. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, man, be careful what you wish for, right? Because it was at a time when people were like, man, you shouldn't be penalized for wanting to transfer schools, and players should have more freedom, and money should be involved, and all these different things. Well, hey, here you go. Here you go. This is what you get when you get all of those things. This is what comes with it. So, I mean,
Yeah, I think it's always when things change, there's always some type of drawback from it or trade off, not drawback, trade off.
yeah.
So it's like, which one do you want more along with the trade off? So I mean,
I mean,
it's
it's
definitely weird because even if you think about it, when Brian Kelly, because Brian Kelly is the coach that just got fired, when he left Notre
mm,
Dame, it was in the middle of the season, and that was a big thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? He left Notre Dame to go to LSU. So
And this isn't the first time Lane Kiffin has done it. You
nah,
know what I'm saying? So
it's bro, this happens like all the time. Like Deion
yeah, so
Sanders, like it happens all the time. But it's as far as the way it's happening with Ole Miss, like I don't think I've ever seen and I could be wrong. I'm just talking about from my personal experience. I don't know if I
mhm,
ever seen a coach wanting to stay to finish coaching. And like you said, when you put it in light, it's probably a strategy of like I'm gonna finish coaching because it's a recruitment booster for me
yeah,
essentially. But
yeah,
nah, that's tough though. That's the man to leave a school and go to the rival school in the same conference. That's tough, bro.
yeah.
And
But
especially after you get a 11-win season, like they was contending for with the trajectory of this season going, they're contending for a college football playoff.
they
So
are contending. They're still in
yeah,
contention. And that's what I was gonna say. I mean, you just finish it out. Pete Golding is now the defensive coordinator. He's now the head coach permanently for Ole Miss, and they still got something to play for. So amidst all of the controversy, like, hopefully the players don't opt out. And I don't imagine players leaving or hitting the portal because of this. Because I mean, the season is still going great, and you all are still in contention. And then I was even seeing, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me. The selection committee is saying that, talking about drop. Well, analysts are saying there's a possibility that Ole Miss drops a couple spots because of this, and I feel like that's the craziest thing ever for you to like for that to even be in consideration because of the coach, the situation with the coach. Like, oh,
no. Here's my thing. I think this is what people, because I know for a fact this goes into college seating is how much of it is going to help ratings. For example, that year, remember that year? I can't remember what year it was, but it was within the last 5 years. It may have been 3 years ago, right? Remember that Florida State team that had a very good record, but then all of their players got hurt, and people like they should have made the college football playoff, and
Hmm.
you was like, no, because all their players are hurt. This is
Right.
not going to be good for ratings. So they
Hmm.
put in, I think they put in like Alabama or somebody, and then they ended up playing like another team, and they got blown out in like their bowl game, and it was like,
Yeah.
see, that's exactly why we didn't put them in.
Yep.
Now, as far as a coach leaving, that's a different story because you're talking about players that's still on the field versus a coach essentially that's running the program. I think you still have a better chance of you still have a pretty good chance of winning versus players actually not playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, but I mean, it hasn't happened yet, right? It's
No, no,
just
no, no.
speculation.
It's just speculation. It's just
Nah,
speculation. But
I don't think it would happen now. I don't think it
I
happened,
would
but
hope
it
not.
could. It
I
could
mean,
though. I
yeah.
mean, if we're talking about ratings, it could. If it drops their ratings, I mean, not
Yeah.
if people are less interested in watching LSU. I'm not
Yeah.
LSU. Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It
Well, I just
could.
feel like that's unfair. I mean, the players are still there. They've been competing at a high level. I mean, why punish them for something that has nothing to do with on the field or the players? Like, but we'll see. We'll see.
But
We'll see
does he
what
get
happens.
players to come? Does he
Of
get some Ole Miss players to come over to LSU?
Possibly. I'm sure. Why not? Because I mean, if I don't know what the difference is as far as like resources at LSU versus Ole Miss and how much NIL is available, but I'm sure he's gonna try to bring some guys with him. I mean, it only makes sense to, but
I got a question. JC Anderson's committed to Ole Miss, right?
yeah, he is.
Do you think has he signed or anything, or is he like
Well,
fully?
signing day is in 2
Yeah,
days.
is that
So, I mean,
does that? Nah, I don't know, bro. Do you think
I don't
somebody like
know.
JC Anderson would flip his
It
commitment at the last minute?
it really just depends on why he committed. You know what I mean? Like every athlete has their reason and their draw to the school and what makes them want to commit and play for a program. Sometimes it's the head coach, sometimes it's the assistant, sometimes it's the facility, sometimes it's just like I've been wanting to go here since a kid has been a childhood dream. So who knows? You know what I mean? But I think it's definitely something to consider and in the direction the program is going in if you want to enter that type of situation. But who knows? I'm sure, and not even JC. I'm sure a lot of the other commits as well are probably sitting here thinking like, damn, like I wasn't expecting this to happen. So what's next? Like, do I stay? Do I, decommit and explore other options? Because it's still early. This is early signing period in the next 2 days, I believe. So it's still time to even flip and make decisions before you officially sign. So I'm sure this is going to play a factor into people, staying committed or flipping. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely wild to say the least. But only reason I brought up JC Anderson, Illinois High School, like Mount
Yeah,
Zion, Illinois High School Association.
for
Want to
sure.
bring it back to Illinois a little bit. But yeah, the whole situation is wild. But I mean, I think you explained it. We've been talking about it for what 13 minutes. I think you explained it perfectly. So I really don't have much to say about it other than it's definitely entertaining to
Yeah.
watch from the sidelines of seeing how this all unfold.
Yeah,
Probably
man.
not entertaining for the people that's in the building. Of course,
Mm-mm.
it's not entertaining for the people that's in the building, but I'm looking
And
at this like, whoa, this is actually wow.
yeah. And
I could see like a little mini docu series coming from this, like a 30 for 30 or something. something
yeah.
gotta something gotta happen like this, and it'd probably be that as an example, but I think it'd be a bigger conversation around like transfer portal, NIL, and things like that. So
Yeah, and I wonder a question for people who have been watching college football for a long period of time. What era is better now, or have we been in this era long enough to kind of make that comparison? But pre NIL versus NIL era, what college form of college football has been better? Like, are we liking this kind of era of college football better with the NIL and transfer portal? Is it more entertaining? Is it more competitive, or pre NIL? You know, when
that's a good
guys
question. That's a good question for those people.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm only what barely 30, so
Yeah,
not
but
even
nah,
30. I mean, but
right.
uh here's my thing about all of this right now though. Like people forget we're not even a decade into all of this, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, it may
So
be
it's
too
it's
early.
so unorganized right now. This is I think right now at this point in time, this is gonna be the most unorganized it's ever been.
Yeah,
Like absolutely, it's gonna be the most unorganized it's ever been. But I think as time goes on, and we get because I feel like we're still running into things that we probably haven't anticipated, right? Or haven't
Mm.
seen. So I think after a while, it's gonna get regulated. It has to get regulated a lot more,
Yeah.
or something major drastically happens and it really shakes some stuff up.
Yeah.
It
So something
really,
that I was talking about a while
yeah,
ago, but
yeah. We
we'll
don't got
see.
to get
We'll
to that
see. Yeah, no,
conversation.
no, no, no. We don't. We talked enough.
Yeah. Let's get back into Illinois high school sports real quick. So,
Yes,
talk about
sir.
things that's never happened before. Crazy
Man.
segue, right?
Yeah.
So,
Perfect segue.
yeah, so the out of 125 years of the Illinois High School Association, I think football's only been going, the football playoffs has only been going since the 70s. Out of all of this time that the Illinois High School Association has even been a thing, for the first time, the football championships have to be postponed, meaning 5A through 8A, not all of them, but the football state championships have to be postponed. I remember it was the funny. I'm gonna tell a crazy story, not a crazy story, but an interesting story. I'm at the state championship for 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A, right? So at ISU. And I want to say it was the second game going on. I want to say it was the second game. Yeah, I don't think the Byron game started yet. And I get a message from you, actually. I get a message from you, and you saying like the game's postponed, and I'm like, oh, the game's tomorrow to postpone, and I'm like, huh? No, we here, bro. We ain't hear nothing. And I'm talking to some of the guys from TPG, which is our sponsorship arm. Like that's the team that works with our sponsorship team. That's our sponsorship team. But I'm talking to them, and I'm like, y'all heard anything about the games being canceled or postponed? And it was like, don't scare us like that. Like we ain't hear anything. I'm like, I text you back. I'm like, we ain't heard nothing here yet. And then I go to our Instagram DMs, and then I see who we was talking to, and you was like, the team's been notified already. And I'm like, oh snap. And then like shortly after that, I like messaged Matt, and he's like, yeah, we're preparing a statement right now. We're just about to announce it, but we did notify the teams. And I'm like, okay. So that happening is crazy. I mean, honestly, it was out of the IHSA's control because ISU decided to close the campus Saturday. So obviously, when you close the campus, the stadium is a part of that campus. The employees are not working. Nobody's running, like nobody could host or run the stadium events. So no state championship. But whoa, I mean, that was the fact that that happened was very interesting to see because there was a lot of games that I wanted to see. Obviously, St. Francis we talked about last week a lot, and St. Rita versus Brother Rice, we talked about a lot. So 5A, 7A, those are the games we was anticipating to be the games of the night. Now they're going to be happening on two separate days. 5A, 6A will be happening Tuesday. 5A will be at ISU, and 5A will be at 3 p.m. And then 6A will be following that at 6 p.m. Obviously it'll be tentative depending on when 3A finishes. And then 7A and 8A will be at NIU for the first time in a few years. And same time. So 3 p.m. for 7A, and then 6 p.m. for 8A. How we feeling about that?
Man, mixed feelings a little bit, man. As I thought that we'll be, entering this pod today talking about the whole weekend and the state champs, and we are shutting the season down and getting ready for basketball. But hey, the football guys gave us another week of Illinois high school football, so I ain't gonna be mad at it. I love football. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't
But
that crazy? We're gonna have two pies now because I know
yeah,
we're gonna have to have a pie after like Thursday after 7A, and I mean after the games happen on Wednesday. So
yeah, yep. So yeah, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, unforeseen circumstances. Like, I mean, who knew? You know what I mean? So I see a lot of people who are kind of, disappointed in, the decision to have it at different days, more so during a weekday. But like, here's the thing, right?
there's a
Most
lot of
people,
logistics that go into running a state championship game.
thank you,
People
thank you.
don't understand that. Like people, it's not as
Yeah,
simple as I guarantee you. I mean, for one, you want to get the season done as quick as possible because a lot of these kids on these teams they play basketball. Like a lot of these kids are leaving, like they're playing the state championship, and then they're gonna go right into basketball.
yep.
And for one, you don't want them to miss. You want to limit how many games they're missing, right? But two, there's a lot of logistical stuff that go behind running the state championship, bro. It's not it's not that easy, bro. And I'm pretty sure they put all of that into consideration. Because I know before, and I knew a little bit earlier because I worked for the IHSA that it was going to be at NIU, but even that had to be, it was still some logistical stuff that had to be figured out of how can we make this possible at NIU and why are we choosing NIU? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot closer for a lot of the schools that's in 7A and 8A to play at NIU. And then East St. Louis is a team that's in 6A and they're playing at ISU. It wouldn't have made sense for them to all, come up as well. And then to do it during the week, you have to make sure it's a perfect time to do it too, after school. Well, depending on what school, but it's a lot of things that go into just choosing a location. And like I said, this is unprecedented. Like, this has never happened before. So it's not as simple as to say, oh, let's just make it all next week. Is ISU going to say, yeah, let's do it?
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was like, I don't know if we can, I don't know if we got the staff for it or whatever. And it's a lot that goes into it. It's not as just simple as say, all right, we're just going to postpone it a week and let's pick it back up, guys. Like,
Yep.
the host controls a lot of that stuff. Like, the host of the state championship controls a lot of it. And a lot of these state championships are hosted by either a specific high school or a specific college. So ISU is the host of the state championship. Well, ISU now, NIU as well. But they kind of make a lot of the logistical decisions. Obviously, the IHSA has a play in that, but they make a lot of the logistical decisions. We don't hire the staff to run the concession stands. We don't hire the security. The host school does. I mean, not the host school, the host facility does. So,
Yep. I'm glad you explained it that way because I was definitely gonna say, like, give a little bit of insight, just because you work there and you got a better understanding of how
bro,
these things work. And a lot of people just
yeah,
want what they want and they don't consider anything else but their feelings. And it's
it's a
like,
lot
bro,
that goes into running a state championship, bro. Think about it. I ask a school like this. A school, let's just talk about the Chicago Elite Classic. Although the Chicago Elite Classic, it happens at UIC, right? Like, or at least if we're talking about the boys
mhm,
for the games. That's not as simple as, all right, we're gonna have the Chicago Elite Classic at UIC and that's it. No, you got to figure out ticket sales, marketing. You got to think of staffing. Staffing is the most important part. Staffing and security, because although you want the event to happen, you want it to be safe and you want to make money off of it too. You want it to be safe, but you also want to make money off of it, whether it's concessions, whether it's ticket sales, whatever the case may be. But it's not easy. And then also you got to consider media. You got to consider filming that game that you have on behind you. That's filmed by WCIU. That also has a factor to play in that too. Are they able to get a crew out there to have the same play-by-play analysts and things like that? That also plays a factor. All of that plays a factor. All I'm saying is to say this. It's not as simple as just say, let's make it scheduled to next week. What if, who's one of the play-by-play announcers? Marshall Harris. What if he's like, guys, I already got this thing booked for
yeah,
somebody else next week.
yep,
If I'm supposed to be the one, I already got a contract with you guys to do play-by-play, but then I also have a contract with them. Just because y'all want to schedule the next week, I'm supposed to be in breach of my contract
yep,
now of something else. And I'm not saying he does have something else next week. I'm just saying that could very well be the case. And I'm not even just talking about Marshall Harris, like the sideline reporters. I can't think of their names right now, but even when you think of that, like they're not just staffed by WCIU to do these types of things. They're like usually on contract with a bunch of other things they move around a lot is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? So Marshall Harris does 670 to score, and then he also does this stuff, and he probably does something else as well. So it's a lot that goes into it, man. You can't
yep.
just you can't just say we're going to reschedule it for next week and decide it right then and there when it's postponed. No,
Right.
that's
And
just not
mind
the
you,
way it
this
works.
is planned already in advance. Like the
Yeah,
IHSA football schedule comes out a year in advance or whatever it may be,
yeah,
it's already set. So if something happened, it's like what, like you said, all the people involved. What if I had a vacation plan next weekend? What if I had another event set up
hmm
this weekend? Illinois State is in the FCS playoff. What if they had practice or
exactly.
whatever? Like, it's a whole bunch of things happening that affect the outcome and the decision making. So it's like everybody just chill out and deal with what it is. Like, it's on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's what it is. IHSA didn't plan for it to be that way. The
Nope.
players, the teams, nobody planned for it to be that way. But you just kind of have to deal with the situation as it happened. And this is what's best for this moment. Is it ideal? No. It's on a weekday. People got to work. They got to call off. The kids have school. All of these things are true. But guess what? They didn't plan for this to happen this way.
No.
This is just the best that we can do given the situation that we have. And people just got to be okay with it. It's not a big deal. Like, as long as the games get done,
hmm
that's all. That's the goal, is for these
That
games to
that
be completed.
and that's what people got to realize. That's the goal, is to crown the state champion.
Yes.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Nope.
Somebody gonna find something wrong with everything you do.
Yep.
And like I said, this never happened before. Like, there's no precedent to say, all right, when this happens, we're gonna do this. This never happened before. I'm sure it's going to be talked about it and thoughts about it now that this actually has happened. And it's like, all right, I'm pretty sure it's going to be feedback from, like the coaches committee or whatever, or the coaches associations or whatever, and say, or the advisory committee, and say, hey, if this does happen again in the future, how are we going to, make sure we can postpone it efficiently. So I'm sure, with this happening the first time, there's going to take some feedback from it. But like I
Yeah.
said, the goal was to crown a champion and to get the games done as quick as possible. Waiting a whole week and giving a team a whole extra week of practice, that could violate. You never even know that could violate like SMAC, student sports medicine recommendations and stuff. So it's so many things that a lot of people just talk and give their opinion, and they don't really necessarily know all the ins and outs and the logistics that go into it. So it is unfortunate, though. I don't want to take away that it is unfortunate that this is happening, and like I said, a lot of it was out of the IHSA control. I mean, the host location closed their campus. What do you can't just say, no, this is happening.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
But
say,
I
no,
think,
like this is
yeah,
happening. I don't care what y'all
exactly.
say.
I think people think the IHSA controls everything. You know what I
No.
mean? No, like,
Yeah.
so it is what
Yeah.
it is, I'm still I'm still excited regardless. We still
Yeah.
got like the big games coming up,
I'm gonna still be there
5A, 6A.
regardless.
Yeah,
So,
like
I
it's
mean, obviously it's my job, but
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, so still got something to look forward to, and extra preparation for the athletes, and yeah, like it's still gonna happen. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it too. So just to reiterate real quick, because I don't think we need to recap the games over because they didn't happen yet, and we already talked about them last week.
Right.
But 5A, St. Francis and Providence, and 6A, Fenwick and East St. Louis will be played at Illinois State University. 5A will start at 3 p.m. and then 6A will be following right after that at 6 p.m. And then Wednesday it would be at NIU 7A, 8A. St. Rita, Brother Rice will be playing at 3 p.m. And then Brother Mount Carmel and Oswego will be playing at 6 p.m. right after. Any closing thoughts on that before we move to the games that actually did take place?
Nah, man. Yeah, no, we like you said, we covered them last week, and not really much to speak on going forward. Just excited to see the games happen. I mean, other than Coach Lynch homecoming,
Yeah, that's what I was
NIU
about to
Coach
say. Coach
Lynch.
Lynch homecoming.
Yeah,
The house that Coach Lynch built.
yeah, man. So, hey, I don't think he gonna go in there playing around. So
Mhm.
he said he never thought he'd be back for some action, because they play MAC football. I think they play on Tuesday or Wednesday during the week. Nobody else really plays games on Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's gonna be interesting. But we'll see. We'll see.
We will see for sure. Hey, man, you guys can't hide for long.
Ah,
I'm just
man.
talking stuff,
Yeah.
bro. I didn't even say a specific team regardless.
Right.
So,
Right.
but I did see a crazy video of like we was tagged in with Fenwick. Like I guess
Uh,
somebody was like yapping about Fenwick and everything, and I'm like, oh gosh, please, this may not
yeah.
live. This may
It's not
not
gonna it may not
age
age
well.
well.
So
Yeah, but hey, hey, it was the thing is, I don't think it was one of the players. It may be just one of the,
no, it was one of the like students
yeah,
probably.
one of the
I
students.
don't
So
even
he
know if they
don't
was a
he
student. We don't know
he
for
don't
sure,
know.
but
He ain't know what he was doing. He ain't know.
yeah. But it was funny though. Funny to
Yeah.
say the least. Now I want to get into some of the games that did start that did play on Friday. The game I want to talk about first though is probably the best in my eyes, probably the best high school football game I've ever seen with my own eyes. Definitely the
Damn.
best definitely the best state championship game I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm young,
That's
so that's
hey.
a stretch to say, but I'm talking about me witnessing, I'm talking about my personal experience. You may disagree, but that was a game between Byron and Tolono Unity, the 3A state championship game. What an absolute game, what an absolute finish, what an absolute all the way through. High scoring, shootout. I remember before the game started, it was people talking on the sideline thinking that it was going to be spectators, of course, that it was just going to be another blowout because the first two games were pretty lopsided. Maybe it was in our Spires game to win, probably going to be another high-scoring, lopsided game. Byron hasn't had a close game in a all season pretty much. And Toledo Unity was coming in as underdogs. And when the game first started, Toledo Unity striked first.
Yeah.
And I was watching it from the hospitality suite. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get down there and get some stuff.
It was
it was
that
definitely
catch, Mason O'Neal. Mason O'Neal, number 8. I think that was his first catch, and I'm like, what? Like, bro,
it was nuts.
like
The quarterback for Toledo Unity was slinging it too, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So it was crazy. And even Byron running back, Caden Constantine, I think he rushed for over 320 yards.
I believe it was 367. 367
oh
rushing
my gosh,
yards, which was
plus.
It was a new Class 3A state championship record and 3 touchdowns. And played defense too. He's a linebacker and he closed the game as well in that last play.
With that last play, yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely a phenomenal game. I mean, start to finish, and Byron, obviously they was able to kind of take control the second half, coming out scoring, getting to stop scoring again, and they had Toledo playing behind. But Toledo, with their receiving core and quarterback, they stayed in it and they fought, and like it came down to like that last drive where they was able to get that onside kick and go in to try to win the game. And they had some unfortunate mistakes towards the end. I believe that corner route in the end zone, it could have been a catch. It was close. His foot was on the line. That would have been a touchdown. But then after that,
you think that was a catch? It wasn't. It wasn't. I saw the replay again. No, it wasn't a catch.
No, it wasn't a catch. But it was a great play, great effort, but it wasn't a catch. But then you have those. Then I believe it was a slant route that was dropped that could have been a touchdown. And then they get the 2 false starts, which pulls them out of scoring range a little bit. And then they get one last shot on 4th down to score. And then obviously Caden Constantine with the breakup and they win the game. So it was a phenomenal game as well, and some big time performances like along with Caden. I mean, again, I want to talk about Toledo's receiving core. They had 3 wide receivers with over 100 yards. Tyler Henry, 16 receptions, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mason O'Neal, 6 receptions, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Trey Hogert, 12 receptions, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, bro. And then Eisenmenger, Toledo quarterback, he was 42 of 65 passing, 545 passing yards, which also was a 3A state record, 7 passing touchdowns, 3A record, and then most completions in the 3A title game. Like that, I mean, they were going off, bro. They were going off. They were going off, bro. And then the thing about it is that players playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Because I think it was Cole Aiken. What happened? I think he got scored on. He was playing corner. He got scored on by Mason O'Neal. And then he comes back down and he scores a touchdown. And I'm like, man, it's athletes all over the field, bro. Yep. Like they balling, bro. So yeah, it was some crazy performances, man. Crazy performances.
I couldn't believe it watching it. And I think Unity had probably every chance to win that game, especially after recovering that onside kick. And I know we talked about the touchdown pass that he was out of bounds, but I think it was a drop pass in the end zone that they probably should have called that could have won them the game, or not won the game, at least tied it up.
Yeah.
And then the last play of the game, I know people were saying that it looked like it could have been PI. In my personal opinion, I don't know if you call PI in that situation. I mean, you probably could have maybe gotten to the player a little early, but at the same time, it's like it's the last play of the game. It's like I don't know if that was even good enough to call PI.
Yeah.
But
it is
great
what
game
it is.
all around.
Yeah,
great performance
from players.
And I don't know what to say. Like I said, it was the best state championship game I've definitely witnessed in person in my lifetime. Like that was crazy to see for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the other games though that took place. I mean, I want to go up to really 4A real quick. Montini versus Rochester. The score was 47-33. That was also a pretty good game too because Rochester never quit in that game. There was a couple times in that game where it was getting a little spooky for Montini, where it was like, whoa, is Rochester going to come back and win this game? And then Montini has just crazy big play capabilities. Obviously, they have the number 2 quarterback in the class of 2027 in the nation, in Israel Abrams. Um, when you got a quarterback like that can make something out of nothing, you should
Yeah.
always feel confident in winning. But then they also got a good receiving core too. That a lot of them going to be returning next year too. So shout out my team. That was their back to back state champions,
Yeah. Yep.
and they
So
could be potentially going for a three-peat next year. I think they have to move up too next year too. It's a
I
five
was
A
I was gonna ask you
because of
that.
success factor. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. 5A.
I think
That should
so.
be interesting next year. That should be
Yeah,
interesting in 5A.
I think they will have to move up because of their success in the lat. So they dominated 3A. And I'm pretty sure they had, even if they didn't win multiple or consecutive state championships in 3A, I'm pretty sure they were like successful. And then obviously them being in 4A this year, won 4A state championship. And honestly, I think they can win 5A too. I think they would have probably won 5A this year if they was in 5A.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. They
So
definitely would have been a favorite to win it. But I mean, yeah, Montini, back to back state champions. They undefeated this season, 24 straight wins dating back to last year. Yeah, so I mean, they're a powerhouse program in Illinois. This is the first time they've gone on a run. I believe they four-peated before at one point they had a four-peat. So yeah, iconic Illinois football team. Eighth state championship in school history. So, like I said, they're favored to win it. Even if they do move up next year, they'll be favored to win it because they're returning a lot of key guys. So, and I mean, like you said, the number two quarterback in the country, Israel Abrams, coming back. I mean, you always have a great shot at winning it if you have somebody like that. So, in that game, Israel was 20 for 30 passing, 418 passing yards, four touchdown passes, and that tied the Class 4A state championship record. So it's like we had a lot of historic, we had a lot of historic performances this past weekend. So hey, that just makes me excited for the remaining games, in 5A through 8A and what kind of performances they put on. But yeah, that was another great game. And one thing I want to say about Rochester is Rochester came into this state championship 9-0. So they had never lost a state championship until this year. So they're one of those powerhouse programs as well, looking to get back and looking to win it. And I mean, if Montini's out next year and Rochester stays in 4A, they look like they can return and get another one. So
yeah.
shout out to Rochester, great season, great
Yeah, shout
game.
out to Rochester. Great season, great
Yeah,
game, great finish. I mean, obviously they fell short, but they were fighting all the way through.
yeah. And one thing I do want to credit Rochester with is I think that they have one of the most creative offenses that I've seen this year. I really like some of the plays that they were showing against Montini, and they kind of gave them fits in the beginning of the game with a lot of misdirection, a lot of reverses, a lot. They had some throwbacks. They just had a lot of interesting play calls that were very creative. So I definitely want to credit them with that. Like I loved watching their offense, Rochester.
Yeah, but Rochester definitely good program, and they could
Mm.
probably be back next year
Yeah,
after if Montini goes. I'm pretty sure Montini has to go up like to 5A. Like
yeah. I'm sure
I'm
that they
almost
will.
confident,
Yeah, I'm
and that
sure
just based off of success factor alone.
they might go up higher than that.
I mean, I think the highest they may have played was probably 6A, right? I think they got a couple 6A state championships.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see. I'm sure it should be announced soon. Like, I mean, it should be announced soon because I remember last year once the state finals ended, it was stuff coming out about like
Yeah,
Mark
but that's
Carmel and stuff
because
in the
of
media.
the board of directors, I think, got together. Like not I don't know if it was an emergency like meeting or whatever, but they got together to add in some changes to like success factor and I think when it came to class and when it came to like counting the enrollment, I think
Mhm.
they changed that at that time too to make it an every year cycle versus every 2 years or whatever it was. So I think
Yeah.
like at the start of every season, they look at enrollment to determine what team a class could be in. I mean, yeah, what class a team could be in.
All right.
So we'll see. The I mean, we know what's on the what bylaws are on the ballot this year. So
Yeah.
playoff expansion is on the ballot.
Yeah.
Well, it's technically not playoff expansion. It's starting the season a week early. which
Okay.
will result in a playoff suspension
Right.
after they change the terms and conditions and stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Some of the other games, though, if we look at them, I mean,
Pretty
they were
lopsided.
pretty lopsided. Lena Winslow, though, you mentioned something about their head coach being there for a while, and that's a historic head coach. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, Coach Aaron, 29th year as the head coach, and he has a record of 272 wins and 69 losses,
That's
which is
crazy.
crazy. Like that record is insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, back to the game though. Yeah, I mean, um, Lena Winslow, they started off hot, man. I mean, first possession from Brown County, it ended in a punt block by their own teammate. And from that point, they were in striking distance. They scored right away, and they were just rolling. Especially like in a run game, Aiden Wild, he had 170 rushing yards with 5 rushing touchdowns. And then Alex Schlichting, he also had 146 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. So they were rolling. They was looking like Cal Monangai and DeAndre Swift out there, the two running backs. You know what I mean? So they was rolling. Another great win. This is Lena Winslow. This is their sixth straight 1A state title game. They lost 2 back to back, but they've been there, appeared in 6 straight.
Who they lose to Altoff last year?
I believe it was Althoff. I believe so. I
Mm,
can't remember, but I'm sure it was Althoff last year. But yeah, so now they're back and they won one. So yeah, man, shout out Lena Winslow.
definitely shout out Lena Winslow. But shout out Brown County too. They had making it to the state title game too, runner up, losing by a lot, but still you made it there. And some teams never make it there, so shout
Absolutely.
out to them as well. Wilmington versus Maroa Forsyth also was a pretty lopsided game.
Yeah.
Wilmington won 42. Maroa Forsyth, won 42-6 against Maroa Forsyth. Um, after the first half, it was 35-0. I think it was pretty much curtains, curtains
Yeah.
after the first half. But any thoughts on that game?
No, same kind of the same situation. I mean, Wilmington just got out ahead and didn't look back, and they controlled the game on the ground. They rushed for 395 rushing yards on 43 carries, 6 touchdowns, all on the ground. So, it's hard to beat a team like that if they're running the ball that consistently and having that much success, running the clock out, scoring touchdowns. It's hard for you to kind of come back because now the clock is running and, it kind of just gets away from you. So, yeah, they balled out. And some individual standouts. Ryan Ketman, 137 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 61-yard touchdown to start the second half. And then Billy Moore had an interception, had a 43-yard rushing touchdown. And I believe Billy was actually the quarterback as well. So you don't usually see that, a quarterback at playing safety. So I'm sure that he also was the quarterback. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, they definitely played well, and congratulations to them, 2-way state champions and, great game.
Oh, excuse me. I think Byron quarterback Andrew Tauber was also on defense as well, playing DB.
Yeah, he was too. Yeah, he was too.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and that's cool to see. Like, just everybody just playing ball. Like, it's just playing ball. It's not thinking too much about it. Like, hey, if you could do it, go do it, bro. You know what I mean? So that's what I like.
absolutely. Well, congratulations to all those football teams that got to play a state championship so far. So congrats to y'all. I want to switch to basketball real quick.
Okay.
Uh Chicago Elite Classic is
Coming up.
next is this Friday and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Any matchups we should get into real quick?
Let me see.
Hold on, let me pull
Yeah,
up
the
the
schedule.
yeah,
I
let me pull up the
mean,
schedule.
I know I had mentioned Pace and Kankakee already. I wonder, has Kankakee played a game yet? I don't
Yeah,
even know if
I
they
think
play.
so.
Have they? I haven't seen anything about Kankakee playing yet, or maybe they play this
I,
week. I don't know.
I know the season is in full swing at this point now.
Yeah, it is, but I just haven't seen anything about. I haven't seen. No, it's according to Max Preps, they're still 0-0, and
Really?
it
Okay.
says they play on Tuesday.
So maybe
So
they
that
haven't.
Yeah, so and this looks like this is definitely not a Illinois team that they're going up against. Let me see who they're playing. Um,
Kankakee? They playing Pace Academy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, they're playing Pace in the Chicago Elite
Ooh,
League.
last time we saw Pace play, they was going
Yeah, they
crazy.
was
Was that the team
loaded.
that kept just shooting threes, or they was throwing crazy lobs? I can't remember
I
which
think
team
they
that
was doing
was.
both. They was shooting, but yeah, they also had some lobs, MJ Madison and some of those guys. But yeah, they definitely play High Park. They blew them out. But
Yeah.
yeah, this
So Saturday, it looked like the Saturday matchups are the ones that's pretty. I mean, Friday, no disrespect to the teams that's playing on Friday, but the games that's happening on Saturday, starting off, I'm gonna just start off with Bolingbrook and home with Flossmoor. That should be a good one.
yeah, yeah, it actually should be a good one. HF, I believe they just won the Chicago Heights Classic. They beat Bloom or Hillcrest. Damn, I don't remember who they beat. I want to say it's Bloom or Hillcrest that they beat. I think it was. I don't remember. I ain't gonna lie. I think it might have been Bloom though. But yeah, they're young. They still got
Darius
Darius
Hawkins
Hawkins.
Jr. Yeah,
Yeah. So they're a young team, and it's looking like they're gonna be good. And then Bolingbrook, Brady Pettigrew, and they still got some guys there. So that should be a good one. Both two talented young teams. So
most definitely. I just wish Davion Thompson would have stayed as well, but it's
I
all good.
mean, yeah, it is what it is. Still
Yeah.
got Brady, man, 5-star. He been going crazy, bro. Like
Hmm.
I was seeing some of his off-season workouts and he putting it behind his back, dunking between the legs, like just a show. So he's definitely somebody I need to get out and watch. So and I believe who transferred from Glenbar West to Bolingbrook. His name is TJ, I believe his name is TJ. I'm sure his name is TJ. He transferred from Glenbar West. He's another super athletic guard, and those two are like the duo at Bolingbrook. I was looking at some stats over this past week, and they've both been kind of double figure guys. So yeah, I think Bolingbrook is definitely must see basketball for sure.
100%. I kind of want to just skip to the game that I really want to see. Is the game happening at 4:30 between DePaul College Prep and La Lumiere? And maybe it's because DePaul College Prep, they three-peated this past year, right? I think they won
Yeah.
one in, what was it, two in 2A, one in 3A, and then now they're gonna be in 4A this year.
Uh-huh.
And they could probably win in that one this year too. But
Yep.
obviously, Devin Cleveland, who was at Kenwood last year, is also at La Lumiere. But if we think about DePaul Prep, they got key returning players like Raquan Wu and also Rashawn Porter. Uh, that's a game I really want to see.
AJ Chambers, I believe.
Oh, AJ Chambers is also
Mhm.
back too, so key player for them as well. I want to see that game.
Yeah, it's definitely
Or
gonna be
or or
interesting.
is it a situation where it's just levels to this? Well, DePaul Prep was ranked nationally last
Yeah,
year.
and they beat didn't they beat Vashawn last year? At I
Are they
believe
the
it was
ones that played
HF that
Bashan?
yeah, the MLK, wasn't it the Paul
Yeah,
Prep
it
and
sounds familiar
Vashawn?
actually.
I
Yeah.
believe that
Was
that
that
the
at
Paul
Nutria?
no, that was at HF, the MLK Classic.
Am I
Um,
what was the tournament at Nutria? Okay, yeah,
mm,
whatever it was. But okay. Oh yeah, we added a full game highlight of it actually. Now
yeah,
that I'm
yep.
thinking about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, DePaul Prep ain't no slouch, no pushover. Like obviously, La Lumiere on paper is the more talented team. They have stars, star players that are nationally ranked and high major guys. But so does DePaul College Prep have some talent with the guys that we just mentioned. But I like as far as team basketball. I mean, DePaul College Prep can compete with anybody. So they're a seasoned team. They're vets over there. Like they've been playing together for years, and they've done this. They've been here before. They've played against big matchups, and yeah, that should be an interesting one. But I think everybody's gonna be excited to see Devin Cleveland back in the city.
Yeah. I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure
been
he's gonna be
playing well.
excited. I think he's gonna be excited to play back in the city too. I just saw his story. He said Saturday 4:30. So
Yeah, we're gonna see. And what better team to play than the best team in Illinois? So that's
yeah,
yeah, that should be a good one. Definitely excited to see that.
definitely a good
I
one.
wish East St. Louis was in it. That's another team that I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing play. Yeah. I think they were in Texas this past weekend, and I believe they went 1-1 in Texas, but they had a big win in their last game. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Definitely, I want to mention some other games that probably be good ones too. I don't know if we got to break it down too much because we are approaching the hour. But at 1:30 on Saturday, Kiri will be playing Warren. It's a good
Curie and
matchup.
Warren. Okay, okay.
Yep,
Justin Oliver, Jackson Davis. That should be a
exactly.
good
Yeah,
matchup. Yeah,
nice
yeah.
little matchup,
Uh-huh.
in-state matchup.
Mhm.
6 p.m. I know we was had Marquise Clark on recently, but 6 p.m. he mentioned the matchup between Kenwood, Wendy Young versus Kenwood. Um, Definitely should be a good one. 7:30 though. I want to talk about a team, Marist. Man, Marist got a lot of returning players as well, and they could easily be one of the main contenders in 4A this year too. They lost to Rich Township last year in the eight. Was it the Rich Township sectional? Was it the semifinal? Yeah, I think it was the sectional semifinal, and they should have won that game, and they had a late game collapse, and Rich Township came back and won. But a lot of those players that was a part of that team returned this year, and I think if they win that game, they woulda, coulda, shoulda, but they probably could have, made it all the way to the state championship playing Bennett. But I can't. I'm excited to see how Maris finished this year, and they could be that team that challenges DePaul Prep, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But some teams been playing well. I saw Thornwood had some big times. Well, I think they beat Brother Rice. Like I said, Bloom, I believe Bloom beat Hillcrest. That was a big time win for them. I think they upset them, and I believe they had a new head coach hire this year, so that was a big time win for him. HF is looking good. I'm trying to think of some more teams that I've seen that have been playing well, but it's been a lot happening this past week that we're gonna get to eventually. Football season is now another week, so we will be getting heavy into basketball this week. But the weather had other plans, so I definitely can't wait to dive deeper into Illinois high school basketball and the players and the teams and kind of get it rolling because I know a lot of people are IHSA basketball fans and waiting on us to really really talk about it. So can't wait to get to it.
Can't wait to get to it either. But Chicago Elite Classic, I don't know if I'm gonna actually go, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see what
hopefully it's streaming somewhere or something we could catch the games.
is it. Do they usually stream it?
I don't know because we I don't know.
Because we've never. Because one year we were there, and then last year we just. I don't know. I feel like that's something that should be streamed though,
Yeah, I
but
believe it is. It's
maybe
gotta be, but
possibly.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, next week we'll see. Basketball
Man,
right after football. We'll be recapping football, closing out the football season, and then jumping right into basketball. We're gonna be podcasting a lot in these next coming days because today, obviously, we do our weekly Sunday podcast. Probably release this sometime tomorrow night, and then right after the two state championships, the 2 day state championship games finish on Tuesday and Wednesday. Probably gonna film Thursday just to knock those out. And then obviously coming back that Sunday, we got to recap the Chicago Elite Classic. So
yeah,
um we'll see though.
yeah, we got
Stay tuned. It's gonna be a
yes,
lot of content coming.
yeah. Oh, and
Um
hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. It's not breaking, but it is big news that just happened. I was kind of seeing some clips of this earlier. Saint Ignatius upsets Bennett Academy today,
oh
69 to
yeah, that did just
65.
happen. Yeah. Bennett Academy is the reigning 4A state champions too.
Yes, Saint
So
Ignatius upset. So I had to check and see because I was seeing on my story, it was people posting at the game, and it looked like Saint Ignatius was playing well. So
that's the thing about basketball though, bro. That's gonna be the difficult part because football, the games can happen on a Friday, Saturday, and we'd be like, all right, we'll pause Sunday, right? Because we still got a whole week before another game's happening. The thing
right,
about basketball, a game can happen on a Friday, and then 2 days later it happens on a Sunday or whatever, and we just like, damn, bro.
yeah,
Like, shoot. Now we gotta talk about two performances. Like, think about it like this: the Dipper, right? The Dipper, when Kenwood lost to Rich Township for the first time, that was what, probably a Saturday, and then Rich Township came and played like that Sunday and won the Denver championship. So it's
yeah,
like, damn, we would have to talk about two games
yeah.
of
No, it's
performances
true.
if we were doing this like consistently as last year. But that's the thing about basketball. But I'm excited though.
Yeah,
Uh, I'm excited to see where this basketball season, I feel like last year was very exciting. It was very entertaining. I know Cash said it last week when he was on. He was saying it's kind of up in the air. And the only reason I'm saying that is because a lot of top players left at certain schools. So
yeah,
that's why I say it's up in the air. But also at the same time, a lot of players did stay. We talk about Marquise Clark. He stayed at Whitney Young, but then also DePaul brought back a lot of juniors, AJ Chambers, Raikan Wu, Rashawn Porter. They was a part of that state championship team. So we'll see. And then Maris also brought back a lot of players as well. But we'll see. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to get into all of these holiday tournaments. That's the
Yeah.
thing about basketball. Around this time is where it's like almost like they own little in-season playoffs
Yeah.
with all of these holiday tournaments and shootouts and stuff. So, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
we gonna get to it. We gonna lock in and we gonna, bring all of the information and the news to the basketball pods. We just gotta get through football, man. We just gotta get through football. So next week it'll for sure be done. I don't think it's gonna be no any more weather issues this week. So fingers crossed, man. We get this done and we enter basketball.
Yeah, most definitely. Any other thoughts before we close this out?
No, man, let's just get excited for, Tuesday and Wednesday. Get to watch some football. Definitely excited to see Mount Carmel play. Excited to see East St. Louis and Fenwick and it's my boy St. Francis and 5A who I have winning it. Been having them winning it. So we'll see. Got some interesting matchups. And I'm excited to see what happens from here as far as like planning for the future. I mean it'll be perfect. I think me and you talked about this. It'll be so much better if Illinois had a dome, just one dome field.
You know
Somebody
that
please.
that came up when the games was getting rescheduled.
Yeah, like if we just need one domed field. It don't have to be a bunch of them. We just need one where we could have a site for the state championship. Cause bro, I personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I do not like freezing watching football. Okay. I don't like to be uncomfortable. Like we should be in a location where everybody could be comfortable, good, nice temperature in there, and we just enjoying football. I saw Indiana Locust Oil Stadium
Lucas
and
Oil.
yeah, Locust Oil. Yeah, they
Lucas.
Lucas. Yeah, my fault, Lucas Oil Stadium, and it looked perfect. You know what I mean? Like, and I know Minnesota. I believe they play at the Vikings stadium. I
Probably.
believe, and yeah, so it's a lot of states who at least have a domed, arena where they could go play in when the weather is bad. So, like I said,
Yeah.
I
Shout
hate.
out Andrean too. I to see they just won the state championship in
Yep, they
Indiana.
did, and then
You know.
Maryville made it to the state championship for the first time in a while.
Ooh-wee.
So
Northwest
yeah,
Indiana,
yeah.
man. Imagine if we were still covering them more deeper this
Yeah,
year.
man. Yeah, we probably, who knows what the future holds,
Who
man.
knows? We may be back next year. We'll see. But yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to them. Congratulations to them.
for
They was able
sure.
to finish their state championships
Yep,
peacefully
yep.
in
And they
Indianapolis.
never have to worry about weather for that. But
No,
yeah, man, yeah, hopefully maybe one day one of the universities, get a dome field or something, or they just build one for
the
different type
Bears.
of events.
I
Huh?
think it happened with the Bears first, probably, and then once that happens, I would expect it to be at
You
Soldier
think
Field. I
in
mean, not Soldier Field.
Arlington Heights?
Arlington Heights, not Soldier Field, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, that'll be
Arlington
dope.
Heights.
That'll be perfect. Like that'll
Yeah,
be beautiful, bro. If it was a Chicago Bears field, they get to play on it because those are like those moments are like legendary. Like you'll remember that forever. Like I played on the Bear Stadium. Like it's just in the Bear Stadium. That'll be perfect. So hopefully that happens in the next however many years. I don't know what the
true.
projection
That
is.
stadium probably not gonna be built by the. It's probably not gonna be finished being built. At least not by the end of this decade. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well.
We'll see. But yeah, man. It's the off-season podcast. Oh, speaking of the Bears, real quick. Come on, hey, stop playing with us, bro.
Yeah.
Stop playing with us,
You
man.
know.
No, stop playing with us. No, stop playing with us,
Okay,
man.
but do you call it playing if you've been bad for a certain amount of time and then you start doing good? Is it
We're talking
playing
about
or
this
is it
season.
or is it fair though? Is it fair
We're talking about
that
this season.
okay, no, I get you talking about this season, but the reason why I feel the way I feel is because of the past. So it's like
Yeah,
it's
I know.
almost like you got a girlfriend that's been treating you bad for like the last 10 years, and then she start acting right for like 3 months, and you like, oh, I love you so much, you the best girl I ever had. Like, no, you probably gonna have to do a little bit more to win me back over. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
You know what
I
I'm
did
saying?
tell
So
I did tell Dave when Dave called me about it after the game happened with the Eagles. I was like, it's almost so good right now that I don't want to acknowledge it because as soon as I acknowledge it, I feel like it'll go bad. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the last time I felt this way obviously was that double doink season. That it's crazy. That was such a great season for us, 12-4, that all I can think about from that season is the double doink. To the Eagles, actually.
yeah,
So it's hard to acknowledge, but man,
the A.
playbook is wide open. Clearly it's wide open. Oh my gosh. It just looks really good. It
Yeah,
really looks really good.
it
Defense
does.
playing well, getting takeaways.
Mhm.
Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson came back, can play. Like it's looking really good. Obviously, we're going into the toughest part of our schedule now, which I'm happy for.
Yeah.
I want it to be the toughest part of the schedule because if we can get one win, all we gotta do is split with the Packers. I won't even say that. Yeah, I will say that actually. Yeah, all we gotta do is split with the Packers. We'll be in the playoffs, and we'll be battle tested. So I want to play the Packers twice. We want that because you're not going to play no scrubs in the playoffs.
Right.
So why wouldn't you want to play the best at this point of the season when you already so close to sealing your playoff berth? So Packers twice. I believe we have Detroit last game of the season. And then we have 2 out of division games. I believe it is the Browns and then the 49ers. So we'll see how this all goes. I think the Browns should be a dub for us, but the other ones, they will be tough. They're all NFC contenders. So, dub Bears. And right now, we're currently sitting at number 1 in the NFC.
Yep.
That's not the NFC North. That's the
Yep.
NFC.
Yeah.
Sitting
It's
at
true.
9-3.
That's true.
So,
Shout
if
out
we
to
win
them,
next
man.
week against Green Bay, let's get it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
For sure.
Excuse me. I can't wait. But outside of that, any thoughts on that before we close this out?
No, man. Nope. Just ready for next week, man.
It's absolutely. Well, this is the off-season podcast episode, whatever. I should start looking that up before I say this. But off-season podcast, we'll be back next week or in a couple days to recap the remaining IHSA state championships for football. And then we'll be back again Sunday next week to recap the Chicago Elite Classic and many other basketball performances. But this is off-season podcast, and we out.